Drifting for channel cat. Just caught a little guy there. If you remember, if you watched my last video on white perch, I was in Kansas fishing, catching some white perch. I was going to use them for cut bait. And there's the first one in the morning here in Canton Lake. I've already got my perch cut, putting on a head right here. I'm going to hook him right through the bottom of the lips, drop him back in. I'm out here fishing some water. Looks like the eye, that last eye in there, the insert broke. Anyways, I'm out here in some 20 to 25 foot deep water. Just drifting along, not casting too far from the boat. I do have 5 poles out. I've got my weight on the bottom on 4 of them, and then one of them, my weight is actually up higher above a swivel. I've got shad on a couple, I got worms on one, and I got white perch on the 2 poles on the ends. Of course, that one was a little smaller than I like to take home and cook, so I turned him free. Yeah. Number 2 hit just like that. Just trying to rebait my back pole. This is a little better channel cat. Bass like him would be nice for a meal. Looks like he swallowed the hook as well. Probably double the size of that last one. They didn't quite swallow it. And he's one of them who bit on a worm. So I had one bite on that back pole, which was white perch. I missed that fish. I was baiting it back up when this guy hit. First one in the live well, and I got to get 2 poles baited up. You can see I'm not casting far out, just letting it drag bottom. If you can hear a little bit of noise, I do not have a splasher, but I've got my trolling motor set right on the front of the boat. We're drifting from the southwest moving northeast, but I've got my trolling motor set there where the top of the blade is just spinning out of the water, just to create a little bit of action like a splasher would do. Sometimes we can get right on top of some hybrids out here in the lake or sand bass, and those splashers really help them. Got some waves going on here today. Sometimes it's too wavy and rough, sometimes there's not enough, but this is just about right for my style of fishing. I'm gonna have to put this pole back behind us. This one is the better fish of the morning so far. He's not hooked very good right there. This hole has caught 2 fish. I've had 4 bites on the morning. That is the circle hook. That is the one that I said I had a weight up above, and then the hook is actually dragging below it. The rest of them I've got set up opposite. I've got the weight on the bottom. I like to do that more whenever I'm drifting. I feel like I get hung up less often. But second cleaner going in the live well. I'll get rebaited, put back in. That's just going to be a slab of that white perch. I don't know if it's just coincidence just dangling around on the floor here at the lake. But it has caught two. I've got 2 bites on it. Caught 1 fish on another pole and missed one. Still on my first drift here. Made it about roughly 150 yards on this first drift and got in fish number 3. I drifted about 1,000 feet total there on my first run. I've got all my poles rebaited. I eventually reeled up and I had lost bait on 3 of them, so I've come back and started at the same point. I'm just going to drift to the northeast again. I'll go up and over a couple humps out here, anywhere from 25 foot to about 15 on those humps. Fish like to set up right on the edges of them. I've got some cut perch on again, 1 worm and a couple of shad. The shad are frozen shad that I brought with me. Shad haven't caught anything yet. Frozen perch, I've got 2, and I've got 1 on a worm. One more, feels like a nice one. It's a little bit bigger. That one bit on the live worm. I believe that's 2 on the worms, 2 on the white perch. And number 3 for the frying pan. Oh, got another one just went down here. Get on the live well, buddy. Oh. I don't know how that wasn't set. Got one on the back pole. Maybe. I don't know how that thing did not hook. Possibly could have snagged on something. Still had the majority of the bait, so going back in with it. That back pole had a hit. Got him in the live well. Need to rebait up front. Still got a portion of the worm on there. And I'm going to put a slab of that white perch on there as well. Definitely got a fish on that back pole. Must not be as big. I got him on here. The way my cameras are set up, you can't see that pole. My canopy covers that area up. Another channel cat. A little bit smaller one. This would be the first one on the shad. He's going back in the water. Give him another year to grow. And I'll get rebaited once again. These shad are dead, so frozen, and if I was using live bait, it might be a little bit more productive. You can see how I hooked him there. I went through his back first and then came up closer to his eyes. As you can see on the front of the boat, I've got some PV pipe that I've attached to the sides. I can rotate that PVC for whichever area I'm going to be drifting or setting. I've got a couple of pole holders on the back half of the boat. As you can see, the way this boat is, it's a little bit tougher for me to put many more pole holders on there. if you're at home watching and you've got an idea of what type of pole holder I could put on this, this is like 1.5 inches. Need to measure that to be exact, but I think it measures 1.5 inches outside to outside on this pipe. And then I've got this cushion on there all the way around it just in case somebody was to slip. But if you've got some ideas of what to put on there for pole holders, the way my canopy folds out up here, and I've got it up right now, but the way my canopy folds out, this whole area is covered up. If you got some ideas, drop it in the comments. Fish number 5, 3 in the live well, turn 2 back loose. Fish on back here. Sorry about this line being back here. Got the second fish on right here too. This pole's back here, like I said, behind the canopy. A little tougher to get to. Can't see it the way the cameras are. Second pole there had a hit too. Another nice catfish. That should be keeper number 4. I guess he actually tangled up in that other line a little bit. False alarm on that bite. So I was on my 3rd pass. Like I say, I've been going about roughly 1,000 foot at a time. I just started my third pass. That makes fish number 4 for the live well, number 6 total. He bit on a shad. A couple off shad. 1 or 2 off a worm, and a couple off white perch. That's 4 for the live well. Here we go again. How in the world do I miss that fish? Tangled up mess of stuff right there. Darn it. He was on a slab of perch. Missed him. I'll get rebaited and then get a tanglement fixed. Man, I hate it that I missed that fish. I believe that's the second one I've missed today. A bit hard like that, just knew I'd have it. I'm in 25 foot of water right now. Got over my area I was wanting to fish. I'm going to go across it one more time. Rebait everything, cast back in, drift it one more time. I'm about, I came in here wondering which bait was going to do the best, because sometimes I'm sold on shad. I use worms. Seems to be, if nothing else is working, I'll catch something on a worm. Might not be a catfish, might be a white bass. Sometimes we catch drum over here, sometimes we catch walleye. And that white perch, I've caught lots of good fish off it. We're about a third today, so I'm not sure we're going to figure out which bait likes the best. The fish like the best. Tell me which one you guys prefer using the most. I'm going to give it about 15 more minutes and one more pass. This one is not a catfish. It's the first one to catch of the day that's not a catfish. It bit on a worm. It is a sand bass. They're good eaters too. White bass, I guess, technically their name. So, we got another one. Going the live well. Fish number 7 on the morning. I haven't caught near as many of these white bass this year as I have in years past. 4 hybrids have I've been over here as often either. Fish number 7, and I am on my last pass. These white bass, they'll bite on shad, they'll bite on worms, all kinds of different lures. A lot of people come out here to the lake and troll, and if you look back through some of my videos, you'll find somewhere I'm trolling, catching them with different lures as well. Well folks, it looks like that is going to wrap it up for the morning. It's about 10:30. I've been out here since about 8:30, got a later start this morning. 7 fish caught, 5 in the live well. That white bass made it to where worms caught the most today. Catfish were 2 on worms, 2 on shad, 2 on cut white perch. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Doesn't matter what bait you use, get out there and fish. Take a kid with you. Enjoy time on the water with your friends and family.